All right. Good evening, everybody. Today is Wednesday, November 12th. The time is 6:30 p.m., and I'm calling this meeting of the Macomb Township Board of Trustees to order. We will say the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Posey is absent today, so Mr. Cardamom, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Cusimano?
Here.
Trustee Lucido?
Here.
Trustee Oliver?
Here.
Trustee Papa?
Here.
Treasurer Drollet?
Here.
Clerk Posey is absent. Supervisor Viviano?
Here. So moving on to approval of the agenda. Do we have any additions, deletions, or corrections?
Yes, there are several. Approval of the minutes for the special meeting on November 4 also includes the closed session meeting minutes. I just wanted to note that. And the fire department would like to propose an add-on. Number 15, request to approve emergency repair on engine 1 to Cummins Sales and Service. And the finance department would like to postpone item 19, request to adopt a 2025-2026 budget amendment resolution.
Chair, move to adopt the agenda as with the amendments presented.
Support.
Any questions or discussion? Motion by Treasurer, did you have something, Frank?
No.
Sorry, I thought I should. Motion by Treasurer Gillette, supported by Trustee Lucido to approve the agenda as amended. Members, please vote. Sorry, I thought I heard you start to say something. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is approval of the bills.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Are there any questions or discussion on the bill run? Hearing none, motion by Treasurer Gillette, supported by Trustee Papa to approve the bills. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. All right, this will take us to approval of the previous meeting's minutes. These are from October 2nd, 2025, and the special meeting minutes from both October 31st, 2025, and November 4th, 2025, including closed session minutes.
Trustee Kuzmano makes the motion to approve the minutes, including the closed session. I will just note for the record that I reviewed the minutes as provided by Mr. Cardamom from the clerk's office, found it to be accurate.
Thank you, Trustee Kuzmano.
Support.
Any questions or discussion? Motion by Trustee Kuzmano, supported by Trustee Oliver, to approve the previous meeting's minutes from October 22nd and the special meeting minutes from October 31st and November 4th, including closed session minutes. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. All right, this will take us to our first public comment of the evening. This is for agenda items only. Anyone who wishes to make public comment on an agenda items may do so now. I don't see anyone making a move to the microphone, so we're going to move on to the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move the consent agenda in its entirety.
Support.
Any questions or discussion on any of the consent items? Hearing none, motion by Treasurer Gillette, supported by Trustee Lucido, to approve the consent agenda. Members, please vote. Someone not vote?
No.
Oh, there it goes. Motion passes unanimously. All right, first new business item is a request to update the dog park membership fees and operating policy. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Support.
Mr. DeCaro.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Evening, board members. Parks and Recreation Department is requesting permission to update the fees of the dog park membership operating policy. After 2 years of reviewing operational costs, we'd like to simplify the fee structure. I've included your current structure and our proposed structure as a review. Right now, a resident pays $40 per year. We're proposing it to be $25 per year. A non-resident pays $56. We're proposing it to be paid $50. And a Parks and Rec Center membership, we would include that in their membership to be at the dog park. The additional cost would be if they need a new key fob, if they lose their key fob, that would be $10. We will be changing to a rolling membership at the dog park. All memberships will be valid for 1 year from the date of purchase. In addition, the dog park will now be included in the rec center memberships. Those memberships will be valid as long as the rec center membership is current. All this will go in effect on January the 1st, 2026. I've included the affected pages, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Carl. Any questions or discussion?
A
Yes.
quick question. Will any of this reduction affect our operating budget for this park?
It will not.
Okay. Thank you.
I had a question. Maybe off the top of your head, if you know, do you know how many resident versus non-resident we have?
I do.
Oh, good.
I thought you'd ask that. We have 526 dogs completely, 429 are resident, and 97 are non-resident.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
But those dog park memberships are just rough estimates, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, you're not Leon.
Now you're stealing his thunder. What are you doing?
You're gonna end up in the doghouse.
The recall petition can be just started out there by the table.
Oh, God.
And then we have two.
Yes. How's that?
Any other questions or discussion? Just one comment. I'm thrilled that we'll be able to offer the service at a reduced rate. So thank you for doing the research that's necessary to make that happen, Sal. If no more questions, motion by trustee Oliver, supported by trustee Papa, to update the dog park membership fees and operating policy. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. The next item is a request to update the Lucido River Park Building Reservation Policy.
So move.
Support?
Mr. Caro.
Thank you again. Parks and Rec Department is requesting permission to make updates to the Lucido River Park Building Reservation Policy. First update would be under Section A. Application, we would like the new language to read, Macomb Township Parks and Recreation staff will handle all reservations requests for the Lucido Park building. Final update would be under Section D, the fees and payments. We would like the new language to read, rental fee is $300 for residents of Macomb Township and $375 for non-residents. These are the only two changes we have to the policy. Everything else would remain the same. I've included the affected pages. I'm available to answer any questions. And on a side note, we did make a couple of cosmetic improvements there, and we can now double the amount of people that we can hold. So it was at 44, we're at 85 now.
Thank you, Mr. Caro. Any questions or discussion?
If I may.
Yes.
So are these increases or decreases in the
These are
fee?
decreases.
So we have decreases at the dog park in cost and decreases at Lucido Park.
That is correct.
There's not many decreases going on in the economy right now, so that's good news. As a follow-up, I don't expect you to know this off the top of your head, but when driving past it on the way to this meeting, there was a large number of people turning into the building, so it must be rented for this
It
evening.
is rented for this evening, correct. We think this will obviously help
Yeah, I would imagine
to
so.
double the amount of people and then lower the cost.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
Same question. Is that going to affect our operating budget?
It will not.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Quick question. How's the activity been as far as renting it out? I mean,
More to the service groups than to outside, but I really do think the number of people that you could have there, you know, if you only have 40 people.
Sure.
Now at 85, we'll probably get more showers and graduation parties, things like that.
sounds good, thank you.
So just as a bit of an editorial comment, so one of the reasons that Sal and I discussed this over the last, 6 months or more, the rental of the Lucido Park or any of our facilities really is not intended to be a moneymaker, so to speak, but just to offset costs of having those assets available to the township and to the residents. So being able to lower the cost, we think will allow more people, give more people access to it, more rentals will happen, We'll still offset what we believe our costs will be by allowing it to be rented. And it's a nice facility that, by simply changing some doors around, we were able to, have 88, is it? now?
85.
85 is the new occupancy, and that doesn't include any, if there's a summer activity, more people can be outside. So we fixed the parking lot up over there, create a little more space. We are working on grants to make the grounds a little more appealing and available to the residents, and now the building is more available to the residents. So overall, I think it's an improvement.
Sounds good.
Okay, no many questions? Motion by Treasurer Gillette, supported by Trustee Lucido. Update to Lucido River Park Building Reservation Policy. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Sal.
Thank you, Board.
Moving on to item 11 is a request to extend geotechnical engineering and material testing services contract with Intertech PSI.
So move.
Support.
Sorry.
Mr. Van Tiffelen.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, board members. About 3 years ago, the Township Board entered into a contract with Intertech PSI for geotechnical and material testing services. These are associated with our engineering projects. That contract had a 2-year extension at the end of the 3 years if the township opted to do that. Based on their performance, purchasing and engineering have evaluated how they've done, and we're recommending the 2-year extension at this time. In your packet was a copy of the agreement that would cover the extension, as well as the confirmation of process with purchasing. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Van Tiffelen. Any questions or discussion?
Mr. Chair, is this like the dog park and the Lucido Park rental, the rate's gone down?
I cannot say that, no.
Okay.
I wish I could.
Checking.
I'm not as good as Sal.
These are costs, not charges.
Yeah.
Costs always go up. Revenues go down. Any other questions or discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have a question. Is the rate carry over from the previous contract, or was it renegotiated?
No, the contract itself has a 3%, it allows them to increase 3% each year of the contract. So this would just be another extension of that 3% increase from over last year's rates. And that will happen to each of the next 2 years.
And my understanding was that we hired an employee to work with that company. Is that correct?
Our employee does not work with this company. This company typically works with our engineering firms. So engineering firm comes in to design some infrastructure of the townships. They need, in a lot of cases, soils information. Or when we go to build it, they could do testing on concrete and asphalt and those types of things.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr.
all
Thank
I
you,
have.
Trustee Lucido, or Trustee Guzmano. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none. Motion by Treasurer Gillette, supported by Trustee Oliver, to approve the extension of the geotechnical engineering materials and testing services contract with Intertech PSI. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Let's take us to item 12. This is a request to approve the purchase and installation of security cameras at Fire Station Number 2 to MCA in the amount of $36,845.33.
So moved.
Support.
Chief?
Mr. Supervisor, members of the board, I'm requesting your approval this evening for the purchase and installation of security cameras at Fire Station Number 2. As you're aware, Station 2 is currently being renovated, and we're at the stage of the project where the installation of the security cameras is needed. Pricing for the project was obtained utilizing the TIPS USA competitively solicited cooperative contract that was awarded to MCA. I've attached the confirmation of process memo from the purchasing department. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. Motion by Trustee Lucido, supported by Trustee Papa, to approve the purchase and installation of security cameras at Fire Station Number 2 to MCA in the amount of $36,845.33. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is a request to approve the purchase of workout equipment for Fire Station Number 2 to Direct Fitness Solutions in the amount of $23,740.
Support.
How about a motion?
Motion, yeah.
Support.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself. That's how fast I am.
I support you too, Shirley, but I needed a motion. I appreciate the applause, though. All right, Chief.
Mr. Supervisor, members of the board, I'm requesting your approval to purchase workout equipment for Fire Station Number 2. The remodel project at Station 2 does include a workout room, and purchase of the equipment was included in the overall project. The pricing was obtained utilizing the bid awarded earlier this year to the Parks and Recreation Department to Direct Fitness Solutions. The bid documents with the Parks and Recreation Department allowed for additional products and surfaces to be purchased within a one-year period. I've included the confirmation of process memo from the purchasing department and available to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions or discussion?
Chief, is this replacing any equipment, or is it just brand new?
Brand new,
The
what we had
facility.
before was just some pieces, sort of hand-me-downs and other things, but this will be new equipment into the new workout room.
Good.
Any other questions? Okay. Motion by trustee Oliver, supported by trustee Lucido, to approve the purchase of workout equipment for Fire Station Number 2 to Direct Fitness Solutions, $23,740. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is a request to approve an invoice for emergency repairs to Squad 1 to Russ Milne Ford, $11,554.49.
So moved.
Support.
Chief?
Mr. Supervisor, members of the board, I'm requesting your approval this evening to approve the invoice for the emergency repair to Squad 1. On October 27th, Squad 1 was sent to Russ Milne Ford due to a report of grinding noises and a jerking of the vehicle when driving. It was discovered the transmission fluid was burnt and the transmission was in need of replacement. I informed Supervisor Viviano of the situation and the estimated cost of $11,500 to have it replaced. He approved the emergency repair and the transmission was replaced and the vehicle returned to service on November 3rd. The actual cost for the replacement is $11,554.49. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none. Motion by trustee Papa, supported by trustee Lucido, to approve the invoice for emergency repairs to Squad 1 to Russ Milne Ford, $11,554.49. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. And our next item is the add-on. It's a request to approve emergency repairs to Engine 1 to Cummings Sales and Service, the amount of $12,343.05.
So move.
Support.
Chief?
Mr. Supervisor, members of the board, I'm requesting your approval of an emergency repair to Engine 1. Last Thursday, November 6th, Engine 1 was removed from service when it was found to be leaking fluid during the morning truck check. Engine 1 was taken to Cummins Sales and Service in Mount Clemens. They notified us it has a blown head gasket. The estimate for the repair is $12,343.05. I informed Supervisor Viviano of the situation and the estimated cost to have it repaired. He approved the emergency repair on November 7th, and it's anticipated the engine will be out of service for approximately a week. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions or discussion? Yep.
Chief, how much do we usually set aside in the budget for these contingencies and things like that? Because it seems like we've had like 3 or 4 like back-to-back like this now. I mean,
Each station has a line item for repair and maintenance. So it's roughly, at Station 1, it's roughly $60,000 for the year. But we do also have a $100,000 contingency line item in the instance that we were to go over that. But knock on wood, we have not had to utilize that so far in quite a few years.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions or discussion?
Do we get a free loaner while they're working on it?
Yeah, $20 a day.
Anyone else? Motion by Treasurer Gillette, supported by trustee Lucido, to approve the emergency repair to Engine 1 to Cummings Sales and Service, $12,343.05. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Next item is a request to award a contract to Lineage Connect for printing, sorting, and mailing of tax bills. Is there a motion to approve?
Trustee Kuzma makes a motion to approve.
Support.
Treasurer Gillette?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our existing contract with Lasercom that had been our provider for mailing, sorting, and printing of tax bills over the last, well, since I've been here, we executed several extensions, has come to a close. Working with the Finance Department, we went out to bid, received, it was at least 7, I believe, responses minimally, but we narrowed it down, interviewed 4 finalists, determined frankly they were all qualified to provide the service, and the lowest qualified bidder was Lineage Connect.
That's very
Are there any
succinct.
questions?
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. Motion by trustee Kuzma, supported by trustee Oliver to award the contract to Lineage Connect for printing, sorting, and mailing of tax bills. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is a request to approve the purchasing policy updates. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Support.
Hello, Janet.
Hello, good evening, Board. As part of its ongoing commitment to ensuring effective, professional, and consistent procurement of goods and services for Macomb Township, the Finance Department is proposing updates to the purchasing policy dated April 20th, 2022. The proposed revisions are blue-lined in the attachment that was included with your board packet. The key updates to the purchasing policy include revised purchasing dollar thresholds with an annual review of adjustments tied to inflation, revisions to wording to improve clarity and conciseness and to align with organizational changes, enhanced oversight of professional services that are not routinely subject to competitive bidding, and an enhanced surplus property disposal procedure, including the addition of purchasing procedure PP7A. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Sure.
I noted that the proposed policy enlarges the purview of the supervisor to, I believe, is it 10,000?
Yes, 8 to 10.
What would be the reason for that? Has
I
there been-
think all of the, I guess I should let Janet, but all of the thresholds were increased.
Yeah, we took a look at all of the thresholds, and one of the inputs that we used were what our surrounding communities doing, and these were the averages of what we've been seeing. And you also have to keep in mind that we have not adjusted since 2022, and things have dramatically changed since then. And in order to avoid these dramatic increases in the threshold limits, we'd like to review this annually with the board and make adjustments based on CPI, so that you're not, after 3.5, 4 years, looking at this amount of increase that you have today.
Well, my question is, it seems to be putting more to the executive on the questions of voting, because obviously the township will be bound by whatever supervisor's office does.
Correct.
I'm looking for, other than just everybody else is doing it, why that limit is being stretched with some hard data facts.
Once we exceed the supervisor's threshold, purchasing does get involved, and the involvement, the number of things that we have to become involved with, that $2,000 allows us to focus on higher dollar items, because we're talking about a $2,000 difference moving from an $8,000 to a $10,000 difference. And there are so many things that cross our desk. That is one of the reasons. And then it's just, this is more in alignment with really businesses in reality of costs today too.
Does the board at a later date ratify these agreements or contracts? Or is it just, I'm concerned about transparency.
Through paying of the bills, yes.
Yes, through the, yeah. And then anything over 10,000 still comes to the board, so that hasn't changed. It's, but a purchase order and as part of the bill run, it's approved in that manner.
So I can try and explain it this way. Now, I wasn't involved in how these recommendations, this was
No.
purely the purchasing department. We did discuss them internally after they came up with a recommendation. I don't think they changed since their initial recommendation. I just want to make that clear. However, the same things I could approve 4 years ago, right?
Yep.
For $8,000 now cost more than 10 in a lot of cases. So the same types of routine items that I would normally have been able to do have gone up and up and up. And when we start involving other staff, especially the purchasing department, going through additional mechanisms to make relatively routine purchases, like repairs to large equipment, like HVAC and electrical, that's a lot of the stuff that I approve under that limit. The administrative costs for doing all those things just continue to go up. So I think the idea was,
We're
these
just
are basically inflationary adjustments so that we continue to operate at an efficient way.
I have a question through the chair for legal counsel. Is it been established in a court of law that the supervisor approving these expenditures and binding the township violates or is in conflict with the Open Meetings Act?
No. No, there's definitely, you have the leeway under policy, opportunities to give, as long as the board approves it, certain leeway as far as expenditures. No question about it.
So
Would it,
supervisor's office can bind the township, I think through a theory of ostensible agency, and the board doesn't need to vote on it.
Well, no, the board has to vote on the policy. If the board votes on the policy and says, we're going to grant you this, we're going to grant you this authority up to this amount, that's sufficient. If you didn't do that, then we have an issue.
All right, thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
okay. Thank you, trustee Kuzma. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none? Oh, where's my notes? Motion by Treasurer Dutz, supported by trustee Papa to approve the purchasing policy updates. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, board.
Item 18 is a request to approve the pre-approvement procurement recommendations for 2026. I always have trouble saying that every year it comes up.
Pre-approved procurement, yeah.
Pre-approved procurement recommendations for 2026.
So
Is there a
moved.
motion to approve?
So moved.
Support.
Ms. Solomon. Oh, sorry, didn't even look up. Go ahead, John.
Okay, the purchasing policy requires competitive bidding of procurement and individual or aggregately exceed $8,000 in one fiscal year. Budgeted procurements that meet at least one of the competitive bid exceptions as defined in the purchasing policy may be presented to the board for approval utilizing the pre-approved procurement process. This process allows the board to collectively review and approve procurements that will not be competitively bid in the upcoming year, rather have each item come before the board on an individual basis. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion?
Just a question.
Yes.
Could I get an example of a procurement situation that would,
We
Line
have
of
like
this.
the occupational health. It's a unique procurement, and what we've done is for pre-employment services. Instead of coming every single time, we put it for one for the year.
okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none? Motion by trustee Lucido, supported by trustee, Motion to approve the pre-approved procurement recommendations for 2026. Motion was by trustee Lucido, supported by trustee Papa. Members, please vote. Say it backwards. Motion passes unanimously.
Motion unanimously.
Yeah, whatever. I know, having a rough night. Item 19 is postponed. It's going to take us to item 20. As a request to approve the purchase of PCs and docking stations from CDWG not to exceed $38,600. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Support.
Mr. Lepari.
Good evening, board members. The IT department is requesting authorization to purchase up to 35 PCs and docking stations from CDWG at a cost not to exceed $38,600. These PCs will be used to replace old equipment throughout the township as part of our ongoing technology replacement plan. This request will be broken up into multiple purchases, and the PCs will be rolled out at convenient times for each department, as we've done in prior years. This is a budget expense, and the cost has been included under the computer equipment and software lines for each department. These PCs will be purchased using MIDeal and Sourcewell cooperative contracts with CDWG. I have included the confirmation of process memo from the purchasing specialist, and I can answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Lepari. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. Motion by trustee Oliver, supported by trustee Papa, to approve the purchase of PCs and docking stations from CDWG not to exceed $38,600. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Jason. Next item is a request to approve a contract extension for the Township Magazine Services with Drive Creative Services. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Trustee Kuzma supports.
So as the board recalls, we made a change, I think about a year ago, which is why this is up for renewal, to go from our traditional REACH catalog, which was the Parks and Rec offerings, class schedule and such, that we would send to every household. Instead, we have transformed it into a fully developed magazine, which includes the REACH catalog offerings, but also contains information about township happenings, residents, new businesses, et cetera. The program with Drive Creative, it was initially a one-year contract with extensions. So this is us choosing to exercise the first extension. The idea of the program was not only to provide a more fully robust magazine, but to ultimately help us control costs. It's a little hard to compare direct costs because since we have engaged with Drive Creative, postage went up dramatically. So there's an increase there that would have been there regardless of whether or not we were using Drive or continuing to send the old version of the REACH. The other information is that our previous printer, and Sal, correct me if I'm wrong, had already indicated that he would not be renewing the contract at those older prices. And our old prices were very competitive. So in our last official printing, Stacy provided me these numbers, was just over $16,000. And so far in our first two issues, we're paying overall a little over 20. However, we expect those numbers to continue to drive down. And Scott from Drive Creative is here. If anybody has any questions for him or for me, we'd be happy to answer.
Mr. Chair, I don't know if this be for you or for Scott, but have the costs started to go down from our initial magazine? Are the ads, how are the ad sales going? The intent was that the ad sales would slowly reduce the cost to below what we used to pay for the REACH catalog.
That is correct. We've done 2 editions thus far. We're working on the 3rd edition, being the winter. I see it'll be a little bit slower for winter due to the fact it's coming out right before Christmas. So that's one of the caveats with local retailers. Would love it to be in, let's say, early November, but also knowing how it should go out at those particular times, it makes sense. I see a larger percentage of advertising coming up in the spring-summer edition, just in lieu of the fact that we're coming out of winter and getting more people involved, and we'll have 3 editions under our belt at that particular time.
So from the 1st to the 2nd to now the 3rd, are the number of ads going up? Are there, you said they're actually, it's
Yeah, it went up from spring, summer to fall in a small amount, less than what I would have liked, quite frankly. For the winter time, I see it being very close to what we did for fall time.
Okay.
If there's an increase, it'll be minimal. And again, it really has to do with time of year, in my estimation, being in the print industry as long as I've been with advertising.
So, we discussed going in that this was going to be a multi-year,
Right.
basically, experiment. You know, as I recall from our bid from the Reach catalog, from the last time we bid it out, the previous vendor was like, what do you think, Sal, like 25, 30% lower than all the other competitive bids? So it's realistic to believe that that $16,000 number in today's dollars is very likely at or more than what we're paying with Creative. So I think we're on par. We obviously would like to increase ad revenue and continue to drive that down, but the product is much better. The paper is thicker, it's glossy, we have a lot more content. So it's a little bit different of a product too. Yep.
Do you know how much of that cost is actually postage? I know it keeps
do.
going up, but I'm just curious.
Last issue, the postage, well, just from our two issues, from our first issue, we've spent $7,050 on postage, and our second issue was $8,114.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that's
that was,
big
we
chunk of
got dinged
cost.
with the postage increase. So,
Okay, thank
we're
you.
roughly the same circulation. All right. No more questions? I lost my place again. Motion by Treasurer Gillette, supported by Trustee Kuzmano, to approve the contract extension for the Township Magazine Services with Drive Creative. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you, Scott.
Take care. Thanks, Frank.
Next item is a request to approve First Amendment to the lease agreement with Singular Wireless. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Support.
We've approved a number of extensions with some of our cell tower leasing, or cell tower companies that are leasing space on our properties. The Singular Wireless reached out, and just like the rest of them, Mr. Tomlinson negotiated with the company and drafted this First Amendment. Do you want to add anything to what this is?
So this is a unique situation with this particular cell tower. It's a little bit different than the others. They have limited revenue versus some of the others. So it's a little bit less as far as the annual increase. However, we still, they were looking for reductions. We were not. And we were able to hold the lease payments as they currently are, including the 3% per year increase. We recommend approval of it. This is our last lease tower that we have an interest in, so.
So, just so everyone knows, this is the one at Station 1? Physically located at Station 1?
Bella Woods.
This is the one at Bella Woods?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
so they call it the Bella Woods one.
So there was a decrease or there was no decrease?
There was no decrease,
Okay,
but status quo. The other ones, we were trying to increase a little bit.
gotcha. Thank you.
Typically, if they don't have a lot of space, either on the ground for new equipment or on the tower itself for more carriers, they come to us looking for reductions. And I think there was only one, that was the one at Station 1, which is why I asked, that had a real argument because there was no more space available at Station 1 for more equipment for that tower.
It's not a singular thing we can do about that?
No.
Okay.
Well, we could if we make them move it. I'm not sure the chief would be on top of that, but.
Okay.
No. It's on the long Verizon, we'll figure it out.
Oh.
Any other questions? Motion by Trustee Oliver, supported by Trustee Lucido, to approve the First Amendment to the lease agreement with Singular Wireless. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. All right, and this will take us to our second public comment. This is for non-agenda items, or any item in particular. If anyone wishes to make public comment, they may do so now. See anyone making a move, so we're going to move on to board comments. Trustee Lucido?
No comments tonight? Thank
Trustee
you.
Papa?
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks, so it's a little belated, but I wanted to wish veterans a happy belated Veterans Day. Your courage, sacrifice, and dedication in protecting our freedoms will never be forgotten. Thank you for your service and the countless ways you've strengthened our nation. So, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Papa. Trustee Oliver?
Ron, you couldn't have said it any better. Thank you to the veterans. Another thing I just wanted to mention tonight, we had the fire department here, we had purchasing, we had finance, we had park and rec. Everything they did tonight, the money we spent was all to better this community. And I appreciate it from our departments, and hopefully the public understands it, appreciates it too. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Trustee Oliver. Trustee Kuzma.
No comments tonight, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Trustee Kuzma. Treasurer Gillette.
No comments, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Treasurer Gillette. Guess that means I should go on. I just have two quick things. It's that time of year again when I am reviewing all of our board appointments. The number of them are coming up for, typically we have a number of them come up at the end of the year. If anyone is interested in serving at any of our boards or commission, please go online to the supervisor's office, fill out the application, or you can contact my office directly and you can get instructions on where to find it. The other thing I want to mention, and you may or may not have seen, we posted online about this, but our Veterans Day effort, I would have to categorize as a very large success. The township sponsored a canned food drive to the benefit of the Vietnam Veterans of America Food Bank located in Clinton Township on 15 Mile Road. This year we had a special partner. It was our friends at Kaz Heating and Cooling, Mike and his team. They have created a 401c3 charity, or a 501c3 charity called Heat for Heroes. And I just want to ask everybody, if you know of any veterans who are in need of heating and cooling services, especially for this winter, you can reach out to Kaz Heating and Cooling and their organization, and they're there to help our veterans in need. And I should also mention that we did gather really 2 large truckloads of canned goods to help that food bank out. And it was a great experience, great people. So with that,
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
any questions or discussion? Motion by Treasurer Gillette, supported by Trustee Kuzmano to adjourn the meeting. Members, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. This meeting is adjourned.